you know, every day I'm like, you know, I think I'll take tomorrow off. I'll just relax. But here we are doing another video. And what I realized is that it makes me feel good to connect to source. It makes me feel good to channel. It helps ground me. It helps remind me that there's so much more to our existence than, you know, what we experience sometimes in life. I had a pretty big emotional breakthrough yesterday. It's the full moon in Capricorn today. I think it hit it at like 29 degrees Capricorn. It's hanging out with Pluto, which I think is still at 0 degrees Aquarius, but it's going to bounce back into Capricorn quite soon, I think in another month or so. It's a bit of a slower moving planet. What does this mean? This means there are big things happening energetically. If you're new here, my name is Candice Wishman. I'm a psychic intuitive. I'm pretty much a conduit, so I like to just share and channel what comes through me through source. And I have my, what is it, iron in a bunch of different pots, or hands in a bunch of different pies, I don't know, whatever. I do a lot of different things, but it is the full moon, so I want to pull on the full moon energy. I generally read for the twin flame collective or love readings, because the understanding the root of the subconscious and behavioral patterns and the relationship dynamics of people is kind of my wheelhouse. But I don't know why I'm telling you guys all this, but I guess it needs, maybe there's some new people watching this, and we're just going to share whatever. I feel like the camera, it needs to be just a little bit in there. Okay, that's a bit better. All right. So listen, the first thing I'm going to say about this full moon in Capricorn, there's a lot of astrological stuff out there that you can check out, and there's lots of amazing astrologers. They got this stuff on lock. I do not do it that way generally. I receive what I receive, and I experience what I experience, and then I share with you all. So this full moon in Capricorn, which the moon very quickly goes into Aquarius. I believe even right now it might be in Aquarius as you watch this video. It is intense. It is kind of explosive, but it's cracking things open. So a lot of the things that you've been plagued with, I feel, for, I don't know, we could say the last, I don't know how many years, whatever. I mean, Capricorn's, anything that's in Capricorn is just breaking us open because of where Pluto was. But even if we move the astrology out, just, we don't give anything a timeline, just think and feel about the things that you stress about and you worry about and you struggle with, and how it's been like a repetitive thing. Whatever that thing is for you is what is moving out. Okay. That is what is breaking open and releasing for good, but it feels very disorienting, and to me, it felt like I was just, and there might be some energetic attacks going on. I don't believe they have power over you if you believe you're powerful enough, but it doesn't change the fact that you feel it sometimes. I felt like I was being attacked energetically, and all like the intrusive thoughts and all these crazy, like just I had to like stop. I was guided to soften. So we'll see what Spirit says about this in the end. Okay. Interesting that we have, it's a time to take action. Okay. What kind of action are you being guided to take? For me, the action was, okay, I need to find a way to face my fears and cry about my fears and cry out my worry, or whatever it was that I needed. I'm an emotional authority, so I tend to, emotional expression is really important for me, but it may not be your thing. What kind of action do you need to take to provide what you need right now? What do you need to do for yourself? Maybe it's, maybe you need to talk to somebody. Maybe you need a hug. Maybe whatever that, maybe you need to connect to source. Maybe you need to get out in nature, whatever it is. Okay. That's going to help you just allow things to move through at this time. without trying to control it, without worrying. There's this, and it's interesting that it's in Capricorn, because Capricorn to me is one of the more highly responsible, right? They're the more responsible sign. They're probably the most responsible sign next to Virgo, in my humble opinion, okay? Out of all of the zodiac signs, everybody's has a different responsibility, but there's something about the responsibility and the ethics of Capricorn. I feel we could be looking at dissolving responsibility of an outcome. Feel into that, okay? But take action. Take action in whatever it is you need to do for yourself. I am going to do an extended video for members and for my Patreons where I look at each sign and I give them a direct message. It's just a quick little video, but you know, you can look at your sun, moon, rising, and Venus, whatever floats your boat, okay? Whichever one resonates with you. Resonance is so important. Okay, we have I cannot express this enough. Bring love into the situation. Believe it or not, Aquarius, they are one of the most friendly, loving signs of the zodiac. But because they're kind of out there and they seem detached. It's their ability to detach that allows them to accept and love people. Okay? So maybe there are things that you need to detach from so that you can love and accept yourself. Maybe there are some things that you need to kind of be a little bit rebellious about and go about things in a different way in order for you to feel love and acceptance. There's something, it's about the self. We're still focusing a lot on the self, but the external energy and the external experiences are still are affecting us in some way. I love this. We've got once in a blue moon, believe in the impossible. But it's interesting that I said once in a blue moon. I don't know if it's necessarily once in a blue moon. I think we're on the precipice of like, holy crap, so many miracles. Miracles happen every day to so many different people. There is something, and it's interesting because Capricorn energy, I feel, is very much the energy of somebody who knows something's possible if they can work towards it or if it can be practically applied in some way. But the ability to believe that something magical could happen without all of that planning or effort or some sort of understandable path is a difficult one. So I feel like there may be some belief systems, perhaps in regard to believing in miracles, right? Believing that the impossible can happen, because the impossible happens every day. It might be something small as thinking you couldn't get out of bed today and you've gotten out of bed, thinking that you could. Sometimes that feels impossible for people right now because we are in an energetic, like waves of energy just moving through us and pushing us, right? Or it could be something like, man, I have this idea of what could happen, but thinking it's impossible, but just allowing the possibility of it, because there's something at work here where if we can detach from feeling like we have to figure it all out, we open the door to possibility of receiving opportunity. There's something with that, okay? This is so, it feels really intense and it feels very hard. And I feel like our nervous systems are a little bit racked right now. Just racked. Not feeling great because we're on the precipice of something we've never really experienced before. And a new, this is so, I know we talk about this all the time. Okay. Release control. What is it that you're trying to control? And here's the thing with this take action. I love that it kind of came in underneath the take action sign or card, because sometimes we think we have to fix things and take action. Like for me, and this is the fine line. Okay. So I'm feeling a lot of like my solar plexus feels hard as a rock right now. Like my fight or flight, because energetically I just feel like, right? my fight or flight, there's anxiety, there's nervousness, there's all this stuff, and I'm trying to soften to allow it. So I'm not trying to control the experience. At the same time, I'm trying to do my part to take action and give myself what I need in order to move through these energies. So I think part of it is that if you're guided to take action, but maybe let go of the results of that action, right? So for me, an example, I'm going to continue to use myself as an example. I'm trying to soften, allowing myself to love, breathing, doing breath work, feet on the grass, sun, letting myself sit in the sun. I'm not getting an immediate result right now, but it doesn't mean that what I'm doing isn't helping. I'm just not trying to control it. We try to control in some way with results. So feel into that. There could be other things that you're trying to control that you have no responsibility over. You have no control. Like if you have a deadline coming up, or you're trying to save someone from save yourself from experiencing something. There are times when you're going to take inspired action, but it's letting go of controlling the outcome of that action. Letting go of control, especially if you have family members, friends, loved ones that you're trying to help and they can't receive your help. You have no control there. But it might create resistance for you. I feel like this is all tied into these belief systems we're shifting out of, these experiences, these things that have plagued us over, months or years on end, things that we've constantly struggled with, since we started becoming aware of our struggles, right? So let go of control. I know there was this one message that came through today, which I found was interesting. Because I'll look at something and my body will respond. Let's say I'm on social media and I have to tell myself, listen, you know what you know to be true. You don't need to look for proof that you're right about someone or that you're right about things. Trying to control the narrative as if you don't have proof, you'll be wrong in what you sense and know. There's something in that deeply subconscious, deeply intergenerational for all of us that we are constantly seeking versus just allowing. Things will unfold. You will get what you need, but there's something with that. Okay, like so fascinating. Okay, let's see what else we got. Okay, luck is on your side. I love that. Any Sagittarius I've ever known. It's interesting. I'm going to go back to Taurus for a second. And this is not all Taurus, okay? There's something about the Taurus energy that needs to be right. Just lean into that, okay? We need to be right in regard to ourselves. We don't need to prove that we're right. Very interesting. I could talk about the global stuff happening. I could talk about what's happening in the world and how this all plays out. But there's a lot of people talking about that. And I want to talk about you. I want to talk about what you do have somewhat control over, what you can do for yourself. Because we don't have control over the world's events right now, no matter how much we want to. There are things playing out that. So I just want to talk a little bit about Sagittarius. If there's ever a sign that just flies by the seat of their pants on a wing and a prayer, and there's a saying that's like somebody that steps in shit and comes out smelling like roses. Luck, because there's an innate energy in the Sagittarius that just know that things are going to work out. Doesn't mean they don't stress. It doesn't mean they don't worry. It doesn't mean they don't got things going on. But there's an innate part of them that we can all tap into this energy and trust that everything is working out for us, because it always is. And I don't mean, I don't mean where people like, those hard lessons are working out for you. This is not what it feels hard because we're letting go of the hardness. We're going into ease. We're going into an ease of life. We got to allow that to happen though. And that's really hard to do. Okay, let's get one more message about this full moon in Capricorn. Honor your feelings. I love this. Pisces have no problem honoring their feelings. Sometimes some Pisces struggle to understand and know their own feelings. Not all. But there's very few Pisces that I know, Pisces sun, moon, rising, that don't honor their feelings. Their feelings are their connection to the world, their connection to the other human beings, the animals, the planet. Our feelings matter. And this isn't just the emotions that we're moving through. These are how we feel about things, how we feel about ourselves, how we feel about our life. There is something about feeling. There's something about feeling. I kind of love that that's coming up. Because if you can't trust your intuition right now because of all the head stuff, it's almost like if your intuition and your feelings could gang up together, then they could kind of help your mind understand what's happening. And if you're like me, I have a hard time regulating if I don't understand. I have to understand, and I'm learning to accept that about myself. I'm learning to accept that I don't feel good if I don't understand. And yes, there's deep childhood trauma in that of being misunderstood or misunderstanding and thinking that I'm going to get in trouble for not understanding. I get all that. At the same time, the gentleness that I have for myself is to allow myself to acknowledge that's how I feel. And it's okay that I feel that way right now. Just allowing and honoring the feeling without making anything wrong is such a boss move. It really is. It's a gentle boss. It's like gently parenting yourself without trying to correct yourself or make yourself better. You don't need to be better. You just need to feel yourself, We're always going to evolve. We're always going to be better. We don't have to worry too much about. There's something with that. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyways, there is an extended for my members and Patreons where I'm gonna go through each sign and I'm gonna deliver a little message for each of the zodiac signs in regard to this full moon. I hope that this has helped, and I'm sending you all so much love, and take care.